Hey everyone, I'm meteorologist Brad Sugden. Update on the ice storm. Today is Sunday, March 30th, and I'm posting this. Generator Magic as the sponsor. A lot of folks are going to probably need them. They are Michigan based, have all Generac generator parts, and they ship everywhere. They ship also in areas impacted in Wisconsin. They can ship anywhere. So get their parts and, hopefully everyone's being safe. Quick update. We have a lot going on still. I'm not going to leave anybody out, but my focus might be northern lower Michigan because of the catastrophic ice damage that we are seeing there so far. And I'm going to try and keep this video a little more brief because we, of course, have a lot of folks without power and cell phone battery is going to be a necessity. So for northern lower, this has been extended. The ice storm warning now goes until 8 p.m. We could see an additional 1/4 of an inch around the Gaylord area and up near Mackinac City, Sheboygan, Pellston, Alanson, Wolverine, we might see maybe up to another 1/2 inch in those areas. Also, in the UP, we have winter storm warnings being issued for additional snowfall up there. We still have the ice storm warning, but notice this one expires at 5 p.m. We are going to see more ice accretion or accumulation, whatever you want to call it, up there as well. So we have winter storm warning in Marquette as well as the Keweenaw for additional snow totals up that way. They could be on the order of 6 to 9 inches, and we are going to have some wind and some very cold temperatures on the backside of the system as well. So that's that. Let's take a look at radar really quick. And again, this is as of about 1/4 after 12. We still have the pink here, which is indicating the freezing rain coming on through the Gaylord area. I was looking to see if we're mixing in snow around the Mackinac Bridge area on the Mackinac cams, and from what I can see, it still looks like it's mixed or coming down as freezing rain. Sometimes the radar algorithm doesn't pick up precisely, but notice how things are surging in from the southwest. We are expecting to increase temperatures today around the Gaylord area, so we could spike up to maybe about 36 or 37 degrees. There is a shelter in place for Otsego County that was just issued within really the last several minutes, okay? And then that's going to be, well, as of the recording of this video, been issued within the last several minutes. Lots of counties have shelter in place, and that's because of tree branches coming down. They can kill you if they hit you. They weigh a ton. We're talking thousands of pounds falling on you. So this is a potentially life-threatening situation with that coming down. We do have a couple thunderstorms as of 1/4 after 12 coming into the Big Rapids area. Again, not much concern with these, but the southern part of the state could have the possibility for severe weather later on today, and we'll talk about all that here in just a moment. So let's switch over once again. I want to talk quickly about some power outages, then we'll go into your actual forecast. So as you can see here, this is poweroutage.us. They kind of blend all the utility companies together so that you don't have to go to each individual power company and tell you how many people are out. We have nearly 150,000 customers out, and that is pretty much all the rural areas up to the north. So that's a lot of folks. That's a big part of the population. I want to point out Otsego County, look at that. 92.94% of the county is without power. That is a lot. So basically, unless you're like in a city, you probably don't have power. Montmorency County, we're over 90% out as well. And even all the way up into Emmett County, look at this, we're at 86% out of power. And then those numbers are just like that all over the place. I won't click on every single county for time, but as you can see here, lots of power outages. Now, what I will say also is this is likely to be lengthy power outages. When you have tree damage like this and power poles that are snapped in half, we are talking the possibility of some folks being without power for maybe a week or two. So definitely use the shelters. The last post on my page that says helping out, I am keeping a thread there of everyone that's offering assistance. We have a lot of restaurants in the area that are offering free meals to line workers, which is fantastic. I know a couple churches around Gaylord are opening their doors as well, like the E-Free Church in Gaylord, the one out on the east side of town. Of course, get there safely. I know the roads aren't in great condition, but they're offering hot showers. They have, places to charge your devices and stuff like that. So definitely look at that post on my page. It's going to be a time to go to my page and just kind of scroll through and look at everything that you can get. But I will pull up a couple of these very nice graphics that the National Weather Service has created up. They have the ice totals forecasted there, and then also this impact graphic. I did post this impact graphic on my page. Notice once we get into the later afternoon hours, everyone switches over from extreme down to significant, which is good, and then an elevated winter impacts risk is going to continue as we go into Monday morning before things improve later on in the day on Monday. So gusty winds are still going to be about 10 to 20 miles per hour, so the trees are going to sway and they're going to continue to topple on down. Now, something else I want to show you is not only up north with the ice storm, but we have the possibility for severe storms across the southern part of the state. So there's a lot going on today, and this is why I'm just making a video to get it all out of the way. So if you're done with the ice storm, you can turn the video off now. I'm going to focus on severe weather for the rest of this video here. We'll have a little bit of a forecast coming your way too. The enhanced risk, which is 3 out of 5 on the scale, is now just south of the I-69 corridor between Lansing and Flint. This includes Lansing, this includes Jackson, this includes Ann Arbor, as well as the Metro Detroit area over to Benton Harbor. Slight risk, 2 out of 5 on the scale in the yellow, and then the green is a marginal risk, which is just a 1 out of 5. Now, there is a tornado threat. Highest possibility of tornadoes is going to be south of I-94, but there is a small threat of tornadoes from Mount Pleasant into Saginaw into the Thumb. That includes Grand Rapids, Lansing, Flint, Ann Arbor, Detroit, Kalamazoo, and other areas that were unfortunately impacted last year by some tornadoes coming by. The biggest threat, though, is going to be wind. As you can see here, the severe wind outlook, which is winds in excess of 58 miles per hour. So about 60 miles per hour. Just about everyone along and south of M55 is under this threat for some severe wind gusts, and it gets higher the further down south you go, especially by the Michigan-Indiana border. And then we have the severe hail risk as well. This is hail that could be up to 1 inch in diameter. So let's start walking you through the next several hours. This will be an everybody thing. It'll show the ice accumulation, it'll show the severe storm timings, and all of that jazz as well. So we'll go back here a little bit and notice we have a very fine line between cold and warm air today. So some of us are going to be in the 30s to the north while we have mid 60s down to the south. And we'll go right here. This is actually set for 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I was right. So 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 60s extending into the Thumb. Much colder conditions to the north, but notice the ice areas could be 34, 35, maybe up to 37 degrees. So we will be melting a lot of the ice off before yet another round comes in tonight. And then temperatures as we go into the overnight will stop right at midnight right here. We're getting those cold numbers off to the north while we still have warm conditions down to the south. The UP is in the 20s, and then everyone starts crashing down after that. So let's talk about the preset types that we can see here. I'll go back and I'll call off the timing for you yet again. Let's go to right here. Now this is 4 o'clock in the afternoon. We have switched over to rain, maybe even some actual thunderstorms going through areas that have been hit by ice like Gaylord and Grayling, as well as Atlanta over towards Alpena, while we still have freezing rain ongoing across parts of the UP in this purple color, and then the blue is snow. And again, this is 4 o'clock. 5 o'clock, things are getting concerning with the severe storms down to the south. That would be from Big Rapids over along the Lake Michigan shoreline, from Ludington all the way down to the border. And then especially this batch of storms for southwest Michigan, I'm going to watch closely. This is now set at 6 p.m. Heavy thunderstorms from Muskegon to Grand Rapids, Kalamazoo, Battle Creek, getting into the Lansing-Jackson area. This would be the best severe potential down to the south. And notice we have everything starting to go from freezing rain to sleet, which is this coral color, to blue, which is snow across the Upper Peninsula. 7 p.m., storms are now over Lansing, Mount Pleasant, Alma, getting into the Detroit metro area, as well as Flint. And we do have some thunderstorm potential that's non-severe over across the Gaylord area. And hopefully, again, this is all liquid rain, but we're going to see more damage. And unfortunately, that means power crews can't fix anything until that is passed. So these power outages will be quite lengthy. This is set right at 8 o'clock now. We're looking at thunderstorms over the Saginaw Bay area into the Alpena, as well as Rogers City, and then down into the Thumb. We're getting into Lapeer County now, Flint, Detroit Metro, even over into our friends in Windsor, Ontario. And by 9 o'clock, it's starting to move out. 10 o'clock, it is gone. So this could be a quick hitting severe weather event tonight. And then notice we still have potential for freezing rain still ongoing across the Straits area, with snow starting to swoop in across the UP, and then maybe a few flakes of snow and another final round of freezing rain overnight into Monday morning for the Gaylord area, and a couple of us on the backside, but we'll focus more on that as we get later into this evening. Right now, though, it doesn't matter because no one out there has power anyway. One last thing I want to show you is going to be the totals here, because I just don't have time to draw all these maps out, and this model usually does pretty good. The Upper Peninsula, notice we could see 6 to 9 inches in the brighter pink here. Anything in the purple has the potential to be over 6 inches of snow, and the blue areas are generally 1 to 5 inches. And I know that's a big range, but with everything that's come down, it's just going to vary a lot. And notice not much snow the further down to the south you go. Let's take a look at sleet accumulation. Sleet is frozen raindrops. So sleet is those little tiny balls that kind of look like hail, but they're very, very, very small, almost like grains of sand. We could have a couple inches of sleet on top of all the freezing rain in the eastern upper peninsula. And finally, the finale of the freezing rain, like I said, we could have more than a ½ inch possible for areas in the UP, maybe even Mackinac Island, and then maybe just 1/10 of an inch more in northern lower Michigan, which is fine. We don't need any more. We do not need any more at all whatsoever. In terms of total precip, because we have rain coming down to the south, there will be streaks in these heavy thunderstorms. Those little streaks that you see that get into kind of a yellowy color indicate the possibility for over 1 inch to 1.5 inches out of some of those heavier downpours with those thunderstorms. And there's just going to be a lot of water frozen on the ground coming out of this off to the north as well. So that's my update. I'll continue to provide updates throughout the rest of the day. Thank you so much. Everyone be safe. Go to my actual page, Meteorologist Brad Sugden, on Facebook and scroll through it. I am posting so much that you're not going to see every post on your feed. You have to actually go to my page. And once again, I want to thank Generator Magic. They have all your generator parts. We have hundreds of thousands of people without power. That's going to be needed. So go to them. They are Michigan based. They can ship anywhere. Granted that the shipping people can get to you through the ice storm, but we'll see. So be safe, everybody, and we'll keep you updated throughout the rest of the day.